I started this company with my bare hands. and
a small donation of
$9 million from my father.
Earl Goodman. with my bare hand. Testing. 1, 2.
Are you kidding me?
3.
Hello. Welcome back to Freedom Fridays.
Okay, you know what? We're starting that. That's the intro.
Yeah,
Freedom Fridays, everyone.
Great, let's go.
We're back.
Josh, Austin, Will.
Boom. 3 co-founders, Freedom Club, Australia's fastest growing e-commerce education community.
High five.
Yes.
Boom.
Ooh.
Air 5. And look, we're not going to waste any time. This is the show where you get to know all of us a little bit better. As the co-founders of Freedom Club. What happens behind the scenes? What do we get up to? What do we like when, well, I was going to say away from the cameras, but we're on camera right now. So it's your chance to get to know us a little bit better. Keep it
We are
lighthearted.
being very natural in here. In case you can't tell.
Acapella.
Start the teleprompter again. Start it again. Starting straight away, random question of the day. You know how we do it. We jump straight in. Time is of the essence here. If your personality was a car, what make and model would it be?
Should we answer for everyone else?
Yeah. You can't like say, oh, I'm this. I'm a Bentley. It's like other people have to think that.
We can't be a dick about it either. Like, give us something. Are we going to be a dick about it? But who goes?
No, you're going to be brutally honest and accurate.
Okay.
Even if it hurts their feelings. The game is the game.
I mean,
who names
I feel like it would be some sort of off-road car.
Wow, bro, you're not that adventurous.
Do you see that though?
Yeah, I do see that.
Okay, so we're doing for each other, right?
Well, you just did yourself now, mate. So you...
something hybrid Prius.
It's like a tampon on wheels.
That's a cheap shot right there.
I'm never going to do
kitchen
that.
in this Prius.
Okay, you'd be like a like a Lexus or something.
What?
I don't know.
A Lexus?
No, I don't know.
Wow. Is that what you
okay.
think of me, brother?
Let me think.
You'd be like a Hilux, Josh. You like getting your hands dirty, mate.
Hilux.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a bit of a worn one. Like it's been around.
Oh, yeah.
It's hit some hills.
Okay, I get it.
It's gone
I'm 30.
off-road.
Whoops.
He has one job to not knock the pole.
Let me
a karate
think.
chop.
So I think he'd be a sedan. I'm thinking sedan.
Sedan?
Low to the ground.
Low to the... Ooh.
We're talking, it's like sport car.
I'm not
quite
that low to the ground
fast.
though. I'm quite far away from the ground compared to you boys.
But I don't know if you're...
Is that how it works?
I think you'd be a fast car.
Yeah, you like going fast. That makes sense.
You're a fast
I like
car.
going the speed limit.
Yeah. I think you'd be a comfortable car, but you would be a fast... You'd have less comfort.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Less comfort.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like you like...
Okay, you got to pick one.
rigid,
Yeah, I gotta pick one.
rigid suspension, like...
Koenigsegg, what?
Yeah, you can pick all of them. Wait, so okay, what's
Fucking
what's
really
mine
like...
then, Joshy?
you know?
I like that.
Well, I just don't think you wouldn't care how smooth the ride is.
Okay.
You're just like, I'm getting there quickly.
Let's get final answers in.
Yeah,
Josh
so-
is a Hilux,
Yeah, what's else?
but he's got some premium add-ons. Is there a sport edition Hilux? Bit of oomph, turbo, something?
or a four-wheel drive, like
Or a Jeep Wrangler. I thought he was a Jeep. Like off-road, but a Rubicon.
Land Cruiser. What am I?
Range Rover?
You're a Range Rover, my guy.
I'll take
You
it.
are literally a walking Range Rover Evoque.
Or a driving Range Rover? Evoque, you reckon?
Evoque?
Give me a sport at least. You're
You made the
Evoque.
lady range.
Evoque, you're compact. You get around the city. You're on the go. You're on the move. You're here. You're there. But you're basic. You're nice to look at.
I'm going to take that as disrespect, and I'm going to tell you watch your mouth. Okay, I'll take it.
A black Evoque. That's a good car.
Okay, so what's his rigid? What are you saying? What's Austin's then?
We've got to wrap up this segment, so it's got to
Yeah,
be
no,
good.
it's
I mean, what do you think?
So you're saying it's low to the ground, it's fast. He's not afraid of a few bumps.
I'm thinking Audi.
You
Maybe
did rent an Audi.
Maybe Audi and then Aston in a year or two.
Oh, upgrade.
Let's go Aston Martin and move on.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Hilux, Range Rover,
Sport,
Aston. Sport. No, you
V8,
can't slide that in there.
turbo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now we're going to talk crazy comments. Okay. We've done this before every week we do this segment and we're talking about what are people saying on the ads? Because we run a lot of ads and the reason why is because it's still for us the best way to tell people about what we do. Whether people like seeing our face or not, it does get through to a lot of people and they're able to see us for the first time. Until we get it to the point where we're making more content personally and more people are finding out about us that way. But the game is the game. It's still the best way to be, I guess, known. Doing a billboard, TV, that's Well, not what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So running ads on social media.
We did almost do a billboard in Bali though. We're close to doing that. Would have been cool.
On the shortcut.
It would have been cool. The problem is though, do you think there's so many billboards? Like, does it grab you? It would have to be really attention grabbing, something different from the rest.
I think if it was just completely plain with just like a really small text in the middle.
Yeah, because
Freedom Club. Everyone would be like, what?
Yeah. All the other ones are so detailed. So if ours was just simple, that would grab eyes.
Okay, I like that. Well, okay, is there any comments that have hit you guys recently that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah.
Because we've talked about some rough ones, to be fair.
Put a shirt on, you scammer.
Put a shirt on. Can you even iron your clothes? Get an iron. No, this guy talks about making money, doesn't have an iron.
Yeah.
That was an original one.
So
Tell
I
the
did
people
one
about
of my
that.
first ads I did. I had a really big crease in the shirt. It was a creaseable shirt. It was actually from Bo. It was a bouquet shirt.
Okay.
Free plug. But it was so creased, and I think every like fourth or fifth person would comment about this crease. I'm there telling people, they should, get out there and live their life, stop throwing away their 20s, and everyone was blasting me for this huge crease in my shirt.
Yeah.
My most commented comment for sure.
This is when you were standing addressing the camera. Was I filming this one?
Yeah.
In Bodrum.
Bodrum.
Oh yeah, we briefly mentioned it in another episode. Briefly, I remember. Yeah.
Iconic. And maybe you could think, was he a genius underneath it all? And he did that on purpose.
Don't throw away your 20s working your ass off to make somebody else rich.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, but it doesn't work as well because his shirt's not creased.
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't work anymore.
And that tone doesn't it? You were really honest in that ad.
Yeah.
Which came through.
It was so good for engagement. I've literally shot ads with a purpose crease after that.
He's tried to replicate the results.
Never
It's tough.
worked.
Yeah.
tough.
What about you? I'm trying to think of one. Can you think of one that I got landed with?
Oh, I saw one. I think we've all got the daddy's money at least once. Because I look at all of our comments. I'm trying to get a pulse on what are people saying. Should we make different ads? People are very skeptical at the start. They're like, why don't you just show student results? I thought that was actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
We don't do that in the ads. We show screenshots, but like, what? It's a screenshot.
Are you
What does
talking
that
like
even
testimonials,
mean?
them talking? Or?
Them talking.
Okay. Yeah.
We have the footage from the events. We've got the success story
stories,
interviews.
calls.
We've got the videos we randomly get from students when they're really happy about things.
I mean, a student just the other day sent me a thank you video.
Shout out to Richard.
Yeah.
So like those would be great. And so I'm looking now. Don't have any negative comments of the past week. I know I do, and I've seen them, but I've been learning from these.
Bro, I've got something for daddy's money. It's a little bit of a rebuttal. So if you don't understand e-commerce, hopefully you do. The whole model of drop shipping is you need like no money to start. So a daddy's money comment is super irrelevant because you don't actually need an investment or capital. So
Yeah, that's right.
You do need some. Let's not get that twisted.
yeah, but daddy's money, like
Not like big
there's
baller money.
somewhat like a few $100s to launch your ads. If you're getting a program, you're getting one-on-one coaching, you need a few $1,000s. But
I started this company with my bare hands and
a small donation of
$9 million from my father.
Earl Goodman. with my bare hand. That's so funny, mate. Well done.
Is that from Dodgeball?
Yeah. Maybe in this episode, I don't know if we're going to throw clips in. We could throw that clip of Earl Goodman.
Here at Globo Gym, we're better than you, and we know it.
Iconic movie. So good.
Oh, God.
So good. Okay, let's talk about highlight of the week. What's been going on with you boys? Past week. What's been up? Something funny happened, a funny story.
I have a not so funny story.
What happened?
That works.
So Hayden, good friend of mine, accidentally threw my phone in the ocean, and it was in the ocean for an hour and a half before I found it. Anyway, got it out of the water. It was working. Then it went black, stopped working. I had to come to Dubai basically to get a new phone. Now, I've always had Apple Care Plus. I'm like a fanatic about it. I love it. When I changed my Apple store from Australia to the UAE in December, it cancelled my Apple Care. So I'm like, oh, sweet, go in there, 360 dirhams, get a new phone. No, I had to pay for the full replacement, which was bullshit.
That's rough, man.
Stitch up.
Yeah.
What have we learned from this?
Yeah.
Check your Apple Care subscription, people, or
don't hang out with
Samsung
Hayden.
Care.
Yeah.
Care's important.
Check your Apple Care. Both applicable.
What about you, Will?
Oh, you go, bro. I got to think. Highlight of the week.
Or something that I found out is how overpriced things are in Dubai. I get reminded of that pretty consistently anyway. And look, I know in most places in the world, you could keep it pretty relaxed if you wanted to. You go to the normal restaurants, you do normal things, and it's fine. It's not overly expensive. But we were going on a boat and it's painful. It's painful. So we had some people that went out on the boat and they went first. They went about an hour and a half, 2 hours before. And so, yeah. And then they said, okay, well, we'll hop on a boat to transfer us to yours because the boat's not going to come back to the harbor just to pick us up. You get taken on a smaller boat, of course. Okay. Organizing that, they're like 3,000 dirham. I'm like, what? Is the boat that we're getting on like ages away? They're like, you need a speedboat. It's going to be this. We're going to get you there. I'm like, okay, I guess. Then when we get on it, 5 minutes later, we were in the harbor going 5 Ks an hour.
Yeah, so slow,
knots.
walking pace through the harbor. And they were at JBR 10 meters from the shore. Like we could have
swum there.
Make sure that's straight as well, you mic, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, that's so
3,000 dirham.
Crazy
wow.
work.
That's the thing with Dubai is like, yeah, everything costs like a substantial amount of money, even the small things.
Are the normal stores more expensive here?
Well, grocery stores are okay.
Like normal store, it's not.
Ralph Lauren here to Ralph Lauren in Australia.
Well, you get the tax back. We don't because we're residents actually.
I feel like it's like 1.5 times the price for a shirt.
I know. In
shops at
Singapore,
Ralph a lot.
Singapore was definitely more expensive than UAE.
Okay.
The same stores. I've got a highlight by the way as well. It's kind of funny, kind of cool. So recently I invested in buying some silver bars, and this is actually quite funny. So I went to this jeweler. It was a reputable company, of course. Champagne into the studio, of course.
Compliments of the company.
So anyway, I got, X amount. Let's just say it was really, really heavy. So I parked sort of far away. So then I had to like carry this silver. It was so hard to carry like through the street. People were just looking at me because I'm holding this like bag that just like wouldn't move, and I was like almost dragging it. And I was just wondering like if people knew that I was just walking around like pulling silver behind. Like I don't know, it's just quite funny.
It's your treasure.
My treasure. I'm now a pirate. It was an interesting experience. You know, like I can't say that's it.
And then, you gave me one of those bars to hold. It's like, it surprises you. You know how heavy it is. It says how heavy it is, but you pick it up and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Because it's just like such a small thing.
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe I need to get in the gym.
The booty.
Yes.
Arr.
But by the way, if you silver's a good investment right now. Up to you. Anyway, cool.
We can't give financial advice.
Yeah, he's not a financial professional. Okay.
I take that back.
Professional. Well, moving on to the next.
You got to definitely give that disclaimer there, I think.
The disclaimer, okay, yes, we're not financial professionals. Neither is Will, neither am I, neither is Josh. So do not go and buy silver based on his recommendation.
Okay, don't do it.
No silver.
Okay.
But speaking of silver, that is the cleanest segue of this century.
Student of the week.
Student of the week.
Boom,
a certain someone that I've known since I was a child has hit silver.
Is this Unk?
Unky?
It's not Unk.
Sister?
It's Sis.
Sis? God, I'm up.
Jordan, if you're watching this, shout out to you. Proud of you. She's been sticking with it. It's been a longer journey for her, and she's launched a few products, but she's been busy with work. Like she works hard. She works hard. I'm sure a lot of people do, but I see my sister, she's working hard. And she's been doing e-com in the background. She hit silver.
Wow. Let's go. Jordan, right?
Jordan.
Let's go, Jordan. Well done.
Awesome. And now she's on track for gold. And very, very exciting. It's such a cool, wholesome moment because we teach strangers how to do this. And then occasionally you get a family member because they're like, well, I've been watching you since day one. Like with Jordan, she saw me in my bedroom when I was like a teen, first thinking about online business after high school. She saw me leave home. She saw me move overseas and we chat. And then, now it's cool to see family members getting results.
That's awesome.
Because my uncle also, he's just below gold. So just below 10K a month in profit. And he's been at that stage for quite some time. So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I got into ecom through family. Josh got into ecom, then I got into ecom.
Yeah.
When you see your family members doing well, it's like, you trust them. Why not get into it? Why not try it? And then it worked out pretty well for me.
That's what freedom is. I had it in my live call. I had this lady and she must be, 50 plus. And she said, do you mind if I do this with my niece? And I was like, absolutely. Like that's what freedom's about. Like we're teaching you so so you can share this knowledge. And that's beautiful to bring the family together, give the whole family freedom. Great.
Absolutely.
How old's your sister?
24.
Oh, that's nice. Well done. It's so exciting.
Yeah. So that was really cool to see. Shout out to Jordan, student of the week for this week. Now let's wrap up this episode. We're talking sauce, our favorite section. Ecom/life/cooking/anything sauce. What's the thing you want to share with the people? our beautiful listeners and watchers.
Sauce.
What do we got for today?
You have something ready to go?
This is the problem. We do this so raw. Like we've got some time. We've got a full week to think of like some sauce.
Yeah.
And then we
don't prepare for this.
No, we don't prepare. We want it to be like really raw. Like this is what's top of mind right now. What's actually going through your head.
Yeah.
Could be tips, could be strategy, something that's trendy at the moment, something else.
Mm-hmm. I think my source would be, and this kind of comes from Hormozy. I can't remember how exactly he words it, but he said, like, if you want to get something done, he said, lock yourself in a room with no windows, no lights, and just heavily caffeinate for like 12 to 14 hours or whatever he says. And not to that extreme, but do you know what I'm talking about?
I think
Have you heard that little clip of him?
Well, just the principle of like sit down and do the work.
You just sit down, you put your phone in another room, you just sit there in front of the computer until it's done. And I think that is a very important bit of source. It's distractions and removing them. And once you do, you can kind of sit there and, you know, even if you procrastinate a little bit, you're going to stay in that spot because you've got the discipline to do it. You're going to get it done. So force yourself into a distraction-free zone and lock yourself to the chair. Put a little ankle bracelet on till it's done.
Cool.
Lock in. Remove everything, as well. But the work to do. Will hit us.
I thought of some sauce because so every Mondays and Thursdays I talk to my coach. So my coach, he's kind of like a spiritual advisor. He's a Christian pastor. Then he also helps me with business, helps me with life. Sometimes he's a psychologist. Yeah, kind of like wears a few hats. I think that, you know, if you're in a position, I guess, where you can afford it, or maybe it's just a friend or a family member holding you accountable, I think having someone that that can really help with your personal development while you're growing, your business, or while you're focusing on e-com or whatever it is, can just make such a massive difference in all aspects of life. I know it made such a difference in my life just with like routine and structure. And so if you can find someone that you can speak to once a week, twice a week, that just holds you accountable, calls you up on your shit. If you write a list of tasks, making sure you do them. And it really goes hand in hand with e-com, especially when you're learning. If you have things you got to do that week, having someone hold you accountable, it really helps.
It's a good tip, man. Because most people, they'll let themselves down before they'll let someone else down.
Yeah.
Like you're accountable to someone, you don't want to disappoint them. You said you do it, you want to follow through. I like that. It's a really good tip.
Yeah.
Good tip.
Yeah. Yeah, but also just to veer away from e-com for a second, just like the personal development side, I think is really important.
Yeah.
You know?
Consistently doing that. There's no end.
No.
It keeps going.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the big one for me that I've been reminded of this week is how much of an impact the stuff we watch and listen to affects how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed it. I was working in a co-working space this week. I was like, I got to lock in, new environment, let's get in flow. You know, have a lot of coffee, boom, lock in. There were windows in that room, unfortunately. It wasn't just
and lights.
The lights were on.
Wow, God, you're insane.
Wow, I didn't even optimize it. But throughout the day, I started by listening to just instrumental. Like I really like listening to either, I'll be honest and vulnerable here. Succession soundtrack. If any of you have watched Succession, something about that theme, it just hits. You're like, I'm locked in. I got to build this massive business. I'm going to it's just puts you in this state of mind after watching all the episodes of that show. I love it. And so then there's that, or the Interstellar soundtrack puts me in a different headspace.
Yeah. Cornfield Chase, is it?
Cornfield Chase, but I just go for the full one, start to finish of the movie. You can do the 1 hour loop of day one or Cornfield Chase.
Okay.
But there's some
it's
real
the
source.
Same song just looping.
Yeah. But it doesn't sound like an end and a start. It just all blends. So it puts you in, you're off, like you're dialed. Then all of that aside, locked in, focused, I put on some other music. It was some slowed and reverbed. I'm like, it's the end of the afternoon. Like I'm just going to do some admin stuff, wrap up for the day. And it was on shuffle or something. And it put some slightly sadder songs, slowed and reverbed. And I noticed my mood change so much. Like the start of the day, I was so optimistic, amped, all this. And now this other music comes on. And I'm thinking about all the things that are wrong. I'm slightly pessimistic. And the only thing that's changed, maybe I was tired and hadn't eaten, but it was the music. So when you're trying to put yourself in a state of mind to get a lot of work done, I think you really have to control what you're listening to or what environment you're in.
Yeah.
So it makes such a big difference.
For sure.
Such a big difference.
Nice, bro. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
That's the source.
I felt the vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's another episode.
Oh, by the way, just something. If I ever am in the mood to listen to a sad playlist, Will has the best one. And I've borrowed it a couple of times. I'm like, yo, I need the playlist.
The sad playlist.
Just for whenever you're in that. No, it's more like sing-alongs, you know? It's the songs that you just like in your feels. But yeah, if you ever need to borrow it, it's great.
Just quick context. I know we got to go, dude. Thanks for mentioning that. I may as well elaborate now. But yeah, it's called Feels.
Feels.
And I appreciate the feedback. Actually.
Yeah.
But I remember I used to see, this is not the coach I was just talking about. I used to see a psychologist back when I was younger, help go through stuff growing up as a young man, whatever. And she's like, you need to feel more. You need to like be more emotional so that you can release it, regulate it. It's typical for a lot of men to hold it all in, and then, you know, they can create anger, resentment, whatever. So yeah, she said, just create a playlist and just like vibe out and just let it all out. And
it worked.
I'm a better person now. Look
it
at me.
Literally works. I'm a bottle up kind of guy with emotion, but you listen to that playlist, it's like comes out of you.
When was the last time you listened to it? Curious.
On the way here. No, I mean, last time I listened to it would have been, maybe 3 or 4 months ago or something.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's our source for this episode. Wrapped up. Another episode in the books. Freedom Fridays.
Let's go.
We'll see you next week, everyone. The Club of Freedom. Thank you for coming. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. We'll see you next week.
Cool.